At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
And I am Anthony C. A pleasant welcome to yet another edition of the Hour of Politics. Thank you for joining us. Do us a favor by sharing the broadcast with somebody who is in your contact. The 2023 general and presidential elections are in full swing. The political parties and political actors are doing what in their best capacity to do to succeed, but we know not everybody will succeed. But in this business of politics, you give it your all. It's not only in politics, it's in whatever you do, you give it your all. And then the people decide your fate. Welcome. I will be speaking to you today on the topic 2023 campaign updates and what the CPP launch tells us about its 2023 prospects. So, the much talk about 2023 general and presidential elections are barely 8 days from today when Liberians in Liberia who are registered to participate will be casting their votes for whoever the age believes in will be able to represent our country for whatever position those individuals are contesting for. So for updates, we know that the CDC had launched some time ago. We know the Unity Party had launched. We know a good number of political parties, and some of them you may not know, you don't hear about much, have also launched their campaign in keeping with the tradition. And so campaign is in full swing. As we speak, Vice President Joseph Yimambwaka is in his home county of Lofa, where he's going from town to town and village to village, taking his message of rescue mission to the people of Lofa. And my understanding is that his vice presidential running mate, Jeremiah Pankun, is in the southeast and taking the same message of rescuing Liberia to the people in the southeast. We know Alexander Benedict Cummings has been on the message of being a fixer, the launch, and he's been helped by a vice tenant bearer, Charlene Bronskin, sometime by the way in Grand Bassa County. Based on pictures that reached us here, focus on Liberia, it was an impressive turnout of the Bassa people. We don't know what it will amount to at the end of the day. But yesterday, Sunday, they much talk about CPP launch took place. We did not see a crash size that they expected in my judgment. The crash size of Joseph Yimambwaka and the CDC surpassed tremendously what we saw yesterday. I don't know how they're feeling right now. They were upbeat about it. They thought they could bring tens of thousands of people. I just read a front page article in which front page is saying that the CPP was able to rally tens of thousands of people. That is complete false. I don't know why a newspaper will write something like that. I don't know what the thing is. Apparently, they're talking about, well, they have tens of thousands of supporters across the country, and they were listening, and so they were being rallied. But somewhere down the article, as I read it, said, well, Mr. Cummings was speaking to a mammoth crowd. I'm like, what are you talking about? But hey, this is politics. Some media institutions are in the business of promoting some political individuals. We don't do that. We come with the raw truth, and this is the business that we do. So for updates, campaign is in full swing, but there is a very unfortunate situation that happened. We, as a media institution, and all other world media institutions and Liberians across the globe has been calling for a violence-free election. But sadly, the ugly thing called violence has been ongoing now in this particular election. We are aware of so many instances of violence that happened before the 2023 election. One would think that Liberia should no longer be a place of violence of any sort, especially when it comes to election. But unfortunately, and very unfortunately, we continue to see violence, and in many instances, leaving few people dead. Why will a single Liberian fall to death because of campaign violence when we have had it all? And so we join many Liberians and other institutions across the globe to condemn in the strongest term the violence that we continue to see, and in some instances, leaving few Liberians dead. This is unfortunate. This should not be happening in a Liberia that have endured the highest atrocity of it all. When people are being threatened by poverty, when people living conditions are unbearable, that alone is a pity for their human condition, let alone for violence to come to them and then snatch them away. It is just unfortunate. But where do we put the blame, though? Individuals are responsible for this violence. Political institutions are involved in this violence. And so who do we hold responsible? All the political institutions claim to have leaders. And the young people in the political institution call those people political leaders. They call them political leaders, right? And they sing songs for them. And these people have not been able to caution them, have not been able to provide leadership that will make the young people to focus on peaceful ways of engaging into political activities. To see that this is happening in Liberia, it is beyond unfortunate. But let us talk about the recent violence happened in Lofa, I believe just yesterday, that led to the death of 2 persons reportedly, but Focus on Liberia is able to confirm the death of 1 person. And it is extremely sad that this has happened. Vice President Joseph Yimam had the opportunity to speak on this, and according to him, the violence was provoked by CDC, whereas CDC is also saying the violence was provoked by the Unity Party. This is not the first time the CDC and the Unity Party have gotten into what is clearly a campaign violence involving members and supporters of the 2 political institutions. They claim to be the biggest political institution in our country. They claim to have leaders who cared about our country. And yet all they have offered our country has been one disappointment after the other, from the leadership top to bottom. The Unity Party came to power and we saw violence. We remember police engaging citizens. We remember the death of a Liberian citizen during the time of the Unity Party. And we cannot also forget about CDCs that were always engaged into these tactics to cause confusion and chaos. My mind is fresh on that fateful July 26, when a young Liberian student, Walter Susulu, was brutalized by auxiliaries of the CDC at the United States Embassy. That young man today, we cannot tell you how he's doing today. I'm giving you this history and the instances because we are now getting into an unfortunate situation with these political institutions who leaders should have known well enough that violence has never been an answer to any approach to obtaining state power. This young man is dead. Do we have an investigation? We have a government that has never been conclusive on any investigation that will capture the life of a Liberian citizen. None the 3 Mason boys, none the auditors, none the EPS officer. Then I can go on and on of Liberians whose lives were taken away, and we have not had any conclusive investigation as to who did what and whether that person or those individuals were held accountable. Not one instant whatsoever. And yet, these violence continue. And you think the opposition Unity Party now will have the experience to know how to engage in a more responsible way. This is, if not the third, then the second person die as a result of political violence between the Unity Party and the CDC. The 2 political institutions combined have served our country for about 18 years now. And I don't know what they can boast of now. Violence, poor Liberians getting killed because they are for their quest to come back to power or to maintain power. This is the price we have to pay A monarch has to be grieving. So we are not in a good place with this campaign. This should be a peaceful campaign of ideas. This should be a campaign of debate. This should be the campaign of messaging. But no, they are bringing us slogans. They are bringing us t-shirts. They are singing. They are dancing. As though singing has solved any problem in Liberia politically. The problems we have in our country need political solution. They need policy prescriptions. We need economic solutions. These are the issues. And these issues are serious as they are, either because the leaders don't have the serious minds, or they don't have the right solutions for our people. They want to shortchange doing the hard work, but to resort into building tension so their job can be easy. But the unfortunate thing is, a Liberian citizen will have to pay the price with their life. And you will think that whenever they get power, they will be able to govern in the way that the life of those who died will be remembered. No. We all continue to talk about the death of 250,000 plus people that died. We saw Prince Johnson kill it. A Prince Johnson today is campaigning for a political party in Liberia. This is a sad situation for this country. I mean, are we the only country that has gone through war? Why is it about us that we don't take responsibility? We don't hold people accountable. Amen. Tijan Kaba comes to mind. Right there, Sierra Leone. He wrote a letter to then the United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan, requesting accountability. Sierra Leone will have a tribunal. Foley Sankar and many others will be held accountable. At least they did something about the atrocities that were committed. The leader of that country took action. Ellen Kim, she did absolutely nothing about accountability. In fact, Prince Johnson, who was one of the greatest monarchs of all, was Ellen Kovadan. We will come and follow the same path. And Bwaka doubles down, and he is your leader. And you are in the streets, and you are dancing, and here we are. Liberians are dying for these very people, again, for their quest for power. And I don't understand the young people. What is it that you're looking for? Have they given you any? Seditions are frustrated today. We are hearing about disenchanted seditions and all of that. In the sun, in the rain, printing their own t-shirts, insulting others, taking insults and all that. And at the end of it all, many of them have become Zoko. They have been engulfed with drugs and they are living like, refugee. Even refugee conditions can be better for some of these Liberians who are on drugs in Liberia. It's an unfortunate situation. Look, folks, we are in a difficult place. Does this election offer hope for you as a country, or for us as a country, to put it right? I don't see that hope. But let me tell you something about these political parties that you need to know. And I think there where the major problem is. The political leaders are not preparing leaders for tomorrow. They are just using their young people as tools to get to power. And when they should have left the same, who will succeed them? Let me give you a picture that will be clearer. Said I'm not that eloquent in your opinion. Charles Bronskin was a political leader that many people admire, especially folks in the Liberty Party. He headed the Liberty Party perpetually as a political leader. He did not prepare leaders who will succeed him. When the good old Lord called Bronskin to his final place, Liberty Party got engulfed in chaos in no time. Leaders cross it from one month or year to the other. Today, Liberty Party does not have a presidential candidate because Bronskin is no more. I don't want to beat on him. He's dead and gone. But the fact is, how did he prepare young people in that political party to take over? We see the same today with CDC. Who are the individuals that are going to take over when we are leaves? When Ellen left, Walker was vice president, so he stayed the course. How many young people the Unity Party under Joseph Walker preparing today? When Walker leaves the scene, what will we see? What will happen in the Unity Party? Should we not fear similar chaos that happened in the Liberty Party? The point I'm making is, do our political parties have even mentorship program for the young people they are relying on to campaign for them, to sing for them, to chant battle cries for them, to go in all the hamlets and the villages to campaign for them? These are the young people who should be leaders of tomorrow. How our leader preparing them? This tells you that these people, they are not intentional about the futures of this country. Liberia's future does not depend on diamond. It does not depend on the money. It does not depend on the empty school buildings. You see, it depends on the young people of Liberia. The human resources of Liberia. The young people represent the future of Liberia. And to shortcut preparation of these young people, we don't have a country, folks. I'm going to be the only one to tell you it is. We don't have a country to count on tomorrow. Why are the political parties not having mentorship program in their political institutions? Are they training the young people for debates? Are they giving them scholarship to go outside of the country or within the very country to get prepared? Name me one political party that has a mentorship program going on in that political institution, preparing the young people to take over from them. Name me one. United Party, CDC, ANC, name me one. The LPP, just name me a political institution that has a program, a mentorship program. Political parties play a significant role in our political life as a country. If Liberians will get doomed or fall doom tomorrow politically, it will be because of our political institution. More so our political leaders. They should have the vision to prepare the young people. Are they doing that? Do you see that? And yet, the young people chant for them, wear t-shirts for them, sing for them. Some of them dying for them. In the case of those young girls called daughters of Weah that died. Look, we're talking about election. Call me the name of a political party that is involved into voter education right now, educating their own members how to vote, how to avoid invalid votes. Name me one political party that has a program going on right now to conduct voter education just with its own members. Name me one. Zero. These are the reason why we are having violence, leading to the death of few Liberians. If these people have programs, mentorship program for the young people who are always involved in these violent throwing stones, mentoring them how to conduct themselves during political activities, they will behave well. There's no voter education going on right now, organized by any political party. Well, maybe they say, well, that's the responsibility of the civil society. Well, that's the responsibility of the National Election Commission. You are a political institution with vested interest. And you think you don't share a responsibility to even educate your own voters and supporters and members? As we speak, they are crying for, oh, we need the final voter vote. They only want to know how many percent where the voters are so that they can just send people there and stand. They are not even training their own people how to protect their own votes. So at the end of the day, it's left with war. So some of these members don't even know their own constitution. They're not even teaching their members their constitution. They don't even know. The only thing they teach them is how to attack, how to wear t-shirts, how to sing slogans, how to be a militant in the political party. Go on social media. Listening to young Liberians engaging in political discussion. It is one attack after the other. They are not talking about the substantive issues. If they teach young people how to engage in productive debates, healthy debates, civilized debates, civil debates, they will follow through. Because they have been, all they've been telling them, well, go and sing the party. Don't you see all the parties singing? All the young people, they are singing. That all the teaching. And that is all they do. So if all the political parties in Africa were to go to a singing competition, Liberia will win. Unfortunately, singing will not develop Liberia. This political slogan and singing thing will not carry us anywhere. That's all they do. The one who attacks the nastiest will be recognized in that political party as the young intellectual. All these people care about just running for their offices, and young people should run behind them. What are the achievements of the political parties of today? T-shirts, political rallies. As we see, CDC launched, they pull on the highest crowd. That is an achievement of the political institution. They have won the election because they put on the highest crowd. This is how they measure their strength. This is how they measure their seriousness. This is how they show that they are a responsible and serious political institution. That they succeed in either inducing people with money they stolen, floating free t-shirts around for people to take it, giving them money for transportation. They show up at the ATS. The cry is up to maybe $20,000. Boom. What an achievement for that political institution. They will not measure their achievement as a political institution in educating Liberians and providing voter education. They will not measure their achievement in providing mentorship program for the young people in the political institution, training the young people how to engage in civil debates. They will not measure it by that. And these are the things that determine the future of our country. Printing of t-shirts comes to mind. At the end of the campaign period, the most visible achievement of all the political parties would be their t-shirts in every home in Liberia. Hello? That would be the visible and known achievement of all the political institutions in Liberia. It will not be how many Liberians they were able to educate on how to vote. It will not be how many young Liberians they were able to train how to engage in political discussion and debate. It will not be that. It will not be how many villages they were able to reach to tell the people about their messages. It will not be that. It will be how many t-shirts that will be seen in every home, in every town, in every village. The t-shirts for them and their political launches and the attacks and the insults will be their achievement. So the bad morals are left with the young people and they grow with it. And the other thing they achieve is this strong mouth, bad mouthing politics, forming political bad political marriages. All right. They take bad political marriages over principles and then individual interest over national interest. This is why we see today Joseph Boakai is running for president. And as you can see here, we have Rescue Ente, Rescue Mondo, Rescue Soldier, Rescue 1, Rescue 2. So we have Mandela Cooper now that Rescue Ente, that achievement. Nyambli Kanga Lawrence, Rescue Mondo, that achievement. General Bald Naked, Rescue Soldier, that achievement. So where is Prince Johnson? Prince Johnson should be the rescue general. Why is the United Party not naming Prince Johnson as rescue something? What is about that? Have you thought of it? The killer is campaigning for Boakai. Bodneke is rescue soldier. Why they can't need Prince Johnson the rescue general? He is the rescue general, right? So these are the bad marriages that they form. That is an achievement for them, and they don't care about principles when they do that. We did it. Ellen did it. Boakai is saying he will do the same, and he must win the election. The same thing can be said about Cummings, Daniel Chie, all these bad people that have questionable characters. He brought them to the fore. Look, I am not seeing the hope that this ongoing campaign offers for our country. With the trend of things, the crowd politics that seem to always tell us how the election will go, it's obvious. And I'm going to give a little history about crowd politics here, because I know it has been a debate and I understand that debate. Far back in 97, Charles Taylor, before 97, was a known warlord who had the biggest gun. He was popular. Charles Taylor, Gange. We all knew that name. He came with a so-called freedom fighter that took away the lives of Liberians, even though he claimed to be a freedom fighter then. Fast forward into 1997, about the time of the campaign, who did not know the name Charles Taylor? Some people even narrated that when people gathered at the time for Charles Taylor, was like dead body just rising from on the ground. He had the crowd. Charles Taylor will go to win that election, if my memory serves me right, far above 79% in the first round. Crowd, gathering, the people in their majority, evident by every gathering of the people, showing that they are in somebody's favor. Gange will win. Fast forward, George Weah, 2005. Even though he did not win that election in 2005, the gathering of seditions was unbelievable. They will call for a 1 million man march. They will descend on Monrovia and they will produce the number. Whether it have reached 1 million, I doubt it, but that crowd was always significant at the time. In the first round of election, we came on top, even though he didn't net the 51% plus one. So it went into runoff, and then something happened. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf got the last laugh. Similar thing repeated itself in 2011. We will go to the second round. I'm telling you, the crowd of the Unity Party and the WEA at that time was impressive. So of the two political institutions that pulled out the highest crowds at the time, we realized between 2005 and 2017, the two political parties won. Ellen Johnson said in 2005 in the second round, 2011 in the second round. George Weah, 2017, he will win in the second round. The crowd tells us something. Today, where do we see the crowd? It's with Weah and it is with Boakai. And I must emphasize here, for some reason now, I see an impressive appetite on the part of voters who are highly dissatisfied with the performance of the current administration. And from what we hear, we should not dismiss these things. I'm not calling a winner here. I'm just providing analysis, historically speaking. We are time we heard sons. He knows book. He does not know book. We will vote for him. He will become president at the end of the day. Similar song was sung for Charles Taylor. I heard that song. He will become president. Today we are hearing a son about Bwaka, that Bwaka we won. Whether he owe or he's not owe. I'm saying this to suggest that the crowd is also on Bwaka's side. The Unity Party has an impressive crowd right now. So we cannot dismiss any possibility with either a Wia or either a Bwaka, as it was in the case before. So folks, I tell you this much. The ANC should not venture into the crowd politics. Because if it does, it will dispirit itself and it will discourage itself tremendously. As I watch the CPP launch at ATS, and as I compare the gathering with the gathering of the CDC and the Unity Party only happened under the heavy downpour of rain. It was obvious the CPP launch had no match. To have gotten into a crowd politics when it's obvious you don't have more of the people on your side. I don't know what they were up to, but again, they have gotten into the competition of crowd politics. And so they try to play, and I'm not sure if that has helped them in keeping their spirit in tight to continue their pursuit for the executive mansion. But this is what I say. The prospect of the CPP will take a political miracle to succeed in winning the presidency. And my friend Dennis will tell me he believes in miracle. I'm not a guy who believes in miracle. For my Bible is very eloquent. That faith without work is dead. So I work for what I want. I don't just hope. I work. Some people just hope. Now, is Cummins not working? Is the ANC not working? They are working. How strategically are they working? I don't want to recount the missed opportunities that I've had in the past. I don't want to recount the things that they know in the past. And so they will get their prize. I must commend the CPP, for it has been obvious the Liberian people in their majority yet to come to the CPP. And yet they journey on. And if there's anything positive, their side have been a little more peaceful, not on the violent side. But if you talk about the attacks, they have been attacking viciously on social media as well. And let me give you an example before you think, what is this guy talking about? And I'm going to the head. Musa Hassan Bility is the chairperson of the CPP. Musa Bility will go live. He's pushing somebody to become president of Liberians who in majority are in destitution, whose material conditions are very horrible. And that man goes live because of his frustration and anger. He will be insulting people who are commenting negatively on his post. This is a political leader of a political institution. He literally insulted Liberians who attack him. Imagine, this is a political leader. He is insulting citizens. He will go as far as saying his dogs are even well fed and eating better food and living better conditions than the very people that are insulting him. What kind of leader who lose his anger and would not have a composure and yet wants to produce a president for all Liberians? Do you not know the thing called politics? Musa, of all people, should know better. That when people disagree with you in politics, some of them get vicious. As unfortunate as that may be, it does not give you, or it is not a good judgment as a political actor and leader to become a bad example because of the bad example being set by other people. Then where is the leadership? Where is the difference? You know, the thing they call leadership is tough. It's hard. It is not easy. That is why it should be for people who have the stomach, the appetite, the training, people who have the tenacity and fortitude, who have the experience, who have the understanding that this is not about me. And your goal should always focus on the bigger picture. The bigger picture here, meaning this country is in a difficult place right now because of bad leadership. And so when you made that conscious decision in which you are not forced by no one, whether or not that is based on a personal conviction, I will turn to question it, because when the people behave in that way, I tend to question. This was your own decision. I thought you had a conviction that the country is in leadership peril. The condition is so perilous that as a leader, I should be an example among us and lift the spirit of many. But Musa Belete, I have watched him several times, will insult while he's having a podcast. And yet, some of my think Musa Belete is different from others. How has Musa been able to prove that? By his financial capacity? By his material possession? In what way has he been able to demonstrate it as a leader? And I saw him at the launch on his phone, and his face was so eloquent in explaining what a disappointment it was that they could not put on a crowd equal to their two rivals, the CDC and the Unity Party. So its prospects to winning is not too great. Excuse me, folks. I've been under the weather, trying to get better. So its prospects, not too great at all. Not too great. And I will end to say it would take a miracle, politically speaking, for the CPP to win the election. It would take a miracle. I don't think their launch tell us anything. They will probably do well, and they will earn the Dayware Trophy. The Dayware Trophy that we always giving people. They will earn that. And so we will take a short break. When we come back, we will be concluding. Stay tuned.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia. From education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology, Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am
Anthony here, and I'm back with you in continuation of the broadcast here at Focus on Liberia on the Hour of Politics. We are giving you an analytical piece today. Thanks for staying with us here. Very shortly, we'll be opening the phone lines. I will be taking 5 or 3 minutes to conclude here. So, folks, bear with me while we connect the phone line here very quickly. I want you to be able to participate in the discussion. I'm setting up the phone lines here quickly. We want to make sure that people can participate. We want you to be able to participate in this discussion. We want to hear from you. We want you to be able to participate. All right. Seems to be the phone line is set here. We will, the number is in a strolling text below, but I'm gonna put it in the Facebook live feed quickly here for you to participate. We want to hear from you. We just gave you analysis and updates on the recent election, and also what the CPP launch tell us about its 2023 prospects. So the phone line is in the Facebook live feed there. And let me put it on the screen here for some time. As you can see, that is the phone number to call if you wish to participate. That is the phone line to call if you want to participate. We will give you a minute at least to hear from you and what is your take on the updates concerning these elections, and what you also make of the CPP launch. What is its prospect, by the way. So let me conclude on the CPP, and then I will pay more attention to the phone line, but you can call in now, and you will be given an opportunity to speak quickly. So the case of the CPP, they have given it their all, and I'm not sure the message of the fixers their messages are resonating. I'm not saying their message is a bad message. It's not a bad message at all. They say they want us to do something different. They want us to elect new people this time around. I agree with that. I don't think the Unity Party and the CDC have anything good to offer our people. They are in it for themselves and themselves own it. But I'm not sure the message of the CPP is winning the people over. They might want to believe that. They might want to think that. The people have their own mind. They see things differently. They tend to choose their own leaders. And when they don't choose you, no matter what you say, it becomes difficult. That is the unfortunate thing about Liberian politics. They chose Charles Taylor, even though he was a killer, even though they saw him killing. The people of Nimba chose Prince Johnson, even though he was a killer, he's still a killer, and they have known him to be a killer. They chose him anyway. Prince Johnson is still a senator. You want me to go on? Edwin Melvin Snow has been a sleazy politician in Liberia. Charles Taylor, former-in-law, who was head of FPRC at some point, you were part of Ereve. The money that flowed in that place, that boy was just doing jolly. Liberians knew about Edwin Melvin Snow. He did not earn all the money he had to his disposal, honestly. So more than likely, we can say he was a questionable political individual, and yet Liberians chose to vote for him, and they did anyway. Let me continue with this so that the folks in the ANC will understand that this guy tells nothing but the truth all the time. So the thing may not be about Comey's own doing entirely, or the ANC own doing entirely, but I would say they have been part of their own problem for which they are where they are right now. Comey's choices have been poor politically, and to a greater extent has contributed to where he is in the campaign. And I would not hesitate to tell you that. But the fact also is that the people of Liberia have not chosen him. If they had chosen him, he would be smiling. Like Bwaka is trying to smile. Like Wea is smiling today. So the people of Liberia know a guy called Yeke Koluba, who is a disgrace when it comes to public service in Liberia. But many Liberians are saying he's the right guy because they have chosen him. Unfortunately, that is the case. So Liberians are people who choose their leaders, not necessarily because the person has good leadership capacity or good leadership skills or good record. Liberians are not known to be people who vote predominantly on the basis of issues, on the basis of record, and so on and so forth. Liberians have never done it that way. Charles Taylor, it was not because he was a good man, who was a known leader, who was a patriot. No. And today, George Weah, because they have loved him, because he played football. That's all they knew him for. And so they chose him and they elected him. And Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, I can say, well, because he was known to be an iron lady. So this is the case. And let me contrast that with a Liberian I have so much respect for, Councillor Tia Wangonglo. This man has a reputable character. Anybody in Liberia will tell you Tiawan is a good man. He's an impressive citizen of our country. I respect him. And yet, they will not go to him. Yet, they will run behind George Weah. All Sidicians will tell you Tiawan Gonglo is a good man. But they are sticking with George Weah because he is the one they have chosen. And some Liberians today have chosen Joseph Boaka because George Weah has disappointed them so much. And so that Joseph Boaka the one. It is not because anything Joseph Boaka has demonstrated as a leader in our country. Joseph Boaka has no record of standing for anything on principles. Zero, nada whatsoever. He has never transformed any sector in our country. He has never transformed any institution in our country. Well, yet they have chosen him because for some of your reason, he is their choice. ask them, why have they chosen him? For some of them, for the experience. Some people have bad experiences. Their experiences don't worth the salt. So you want to tell me about experience? Experience in what? In being a governmental bureaucrat and sits in an executive chair and collect checks and approve budgets in millions and squander opportunities? Is that what it is? That's the experience? So give me a break with experience. The experience of somebody who was teaching in 1960. I don't think I want that person to teach my child today. There's nothing wrong with that. That person have that 1960 experience as a classroom teacher. We are in the technology age now. If that person has not improved on that 1960 experience, they cannot bring it in the age of technology. Would it be able to teach my child how to type on a computer, how to check email, how to send a document, how to do PowerPoint? If that person is still stuck in 1970, no, that is not to disparage people who were strong in 1970 and had those experiences that were necessary for that time period. We are in the new dispensation now. Yeah, am I in the United States, and some of you watching me, you might be in FOIA. Was that ever possible? And so somebody who was in FOIA many years ago and stay in FOIA, can that person be a talk show host today if they don't learn the technology of today to be able to reach so many people across the globe? Of course not. So it is not enough to have all experiences in this day and age. So some experiences are good for the past, not good for this time that we find ourselves in. So folks, that will be the update. We will now see if we have a caller. 57 minutes gone, so I will do comments. I don't want to go far above 1 hour. This is the hour of politics. We try to stick it to 1 hour. Let me hear from this man, Flomo Livingstone. Voting for CPP is a waste of votes, so please vote for JMB and JKK. That person writes. Esther Clark Frederick writes, your intro is already biased. Keep your 11 viewers by. The person says I should keep my 11 viewers. I think I've done exceedingly well to have succeeded and have 11 persons. Livingstone writes, Front Page Africa, wait for CPP. Yeah, that article was so despicable when I read that. George Freeman writes, falling from Kilman. You see, somebody is watching me from Kilman. That is George Freeman. George Freeman again, better you leave and stop the stepping here. He is making a lot of logic, just that you don't have open mind. Your mind is already made up. George is talking about a person who said, I had just 11 persons, so they were leaving. The crowd politics we're still talking about is the crowd mentality. Anything that you see plenty of people is good. And that is killing this country. Because plenty of people watching Prophet Key is good. And you believe he is good. When you know deep down in your heart he's not a good guy. He's a bad guy for our country. And yet people go there. Really? And this country is going to move forward with this kind of mindset and attitude? That when something is popular, whether it's comedy, whether it's nonsense, all right, whether it's complete idiot just making noise and people gather, then it's good because there are many people. Why have we turned our backs on quality and on the best of us? And anything that is of good representation of who we are as a people, we don't count it. Sad. Jackie Saya writes, we are too focused on crowd size and t-shirts. Will the crowd pay for the hospitals or put food on the tables? We need to focus on the essentials instead of dancing for warlords and rapists. Jackie, you couldn't have said it right. Many of these people are rapists. We need a whole new mindset, and I couldn't agree more, Jackie. You got me fired up. Jackie, again, we have no moral standings to call for a war crimes court as we celebrate and dance with rebels and warlords. Definitely. I want to see Bwaka calling for a war crime court when he dances with Prince Johnson. What a disgrace. And yet he's a leader for this country. But he does not care about what matters to this country's future. Accountability has, if you cannot hold a new killer accountable, when you dance with him in the political field and you want to tell me you will become president and then that will happen, my fault. Ellen did not do it. Weah has not been able to do it. You will do it. These are the things we need to tell the people. Livingston writes again, CPP was a field rally, so embarrassing yesterday, and I agreed it was embarrassing. But again, Liberian people, they got themselves into this situation. The CPP should be going from town and county to county and village to village and be campaigning instead of engaging in the political crowd politics. Because if you want to get in that game when you don't have everything to make it happen, then you are a failure. Unfortunately, that's what it is. No other way to pull it. Let's hear from First Bird here. I just saw today a cartoon film on voter education done by the Unity Party. All right, that is a good thing. Let them keep it up. Why too late in the game? Why come a political commentator is this? Where are we heading, Lord? This person is not happy with my commentary here. This is how I do it. I love those who criticize me more. I am not sure, Mr. Commentator, that gathering a large crowd is a winning strategy at all. Most of the people that make up those large crowds are pay agents. Wake up. Some, I agree, are pay agents. But if you say you're going to put on a crowd, do it. If you can't do it, then you have yourself to blame. And that is the point. I know you support the ANC, so the truth hurts. Saying by that right, if JMB held bad experience, why people should continue gravitating towards him. Somebody can be bad and somebody can like the person for being bad. You don't see wicked people. They have bully guys. They have people behind them. You think Prince Johnson is a good man? That killer, you think is a good man? You know how many people continue to vote for Prince Johnson in Nimba? What question are you asking? Is that it? Okay. So are you saying one person from the 70s is going to be the one giving the idea of technology today? What happens to the team of president assembles? All right, I'll leave it there. Let's hear from Mo Mamba, Senpada, the same way a woman would say, stay with a man who can beat her. Okay, the person is making the point that, well, somebody can be bad, and yet people follow that person. Charles Taylor, do you think Charles Taylor was a good man? You know how many followers Charles Taylor had? Do you know killers who have so many followers? So think about it. Think about it. On that note, this is how we will come to the end of yet another edition of the Hour of Politics here at Focus on Liberia with me, Anthony C., your host. I always try to do my best to analyze the issues, and I always call Liberians' attention to focus on the bigger picture. This country, its future, the young people, and now these politicians who are using these children as recycled tools for their political graveyard at the end of the day. This campaign will end, and the achievement of all political parties will be T-shirts in the homes of Liberians. Why? The struggle to even find, Liberian men will say, telemedicine for their children to take when they get sick. Sad, sad, and sad. What are the messages of the individuals that you are running behind today? I will leave it, and I will close the broadcast. Until I see you again another time when I do, my name remains Anthony C. Your network remains focused on Liberia, and your most analytical political show remains The Hour of Politics. I love you all. Even the ones who hate me, I love them more, because those are the ones that give me reason to think better and do better. I love you all, and bye-bye. Enjoy the sun. We are all Liberians.
We are Liberians.